Hi, Amanda. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to recover from a cold, but things are looking up.
Oh, okay. You do look a little under the weather,
Yeah.
so are you getting better?
Yeah, I feel a lot better than I did a few days ago.
Uh-huh.
So it's just going. It's all coming out, and hopefully
Yes.
it goes away soon.
Okay. Well, I hope it does too.
Thank you.
All right, Amanda. So, as you're aware, in our previous sessions, we've been discussing the ABC model, and we've been kind of using that to kind of reframe your thought processes and just having better outcomes or consequences for your thoughts.
Yeah.
So, how helpful has that been for you and the issue that you're experiencing?
I feel like it's really helped me think about things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, but I always think, once I think about it differently, I remember about the consequences.
Yes.
And kind of like what consequences I would want to face with, like continue facing the big mess that I have in my house, or the more positive consequences. So it kind of helps me, I kind of see it as a reward, If I do this, it's more likely that I'm going to be feeling better about this. So I feel like it has been helpful. It's helped me identify, the triggers. Like in the beginning, when we were identifying my triggers, I had a lot of triggers. It started off walking, at the entrance of my house, at the door. And now, like, my triggers are they're still around the house. I mean, the mess is not going to disappear from, night to day or anything like that. But I at least know that I have control of it. I have control of that. I can decrease my triggers. So I feel like it's been very helpful overall. I feel better. My house is looking cleaner. Not the cleanest, but cleaner.
Okay. Well, that's really good to hear. Can you tell me maybe how you think now as opposed to how you thought before we even met in our sessions?
I feel that in the beginning, even before I came into the session, I knew my house was a mess, but whenever someone would try to tell me, I would be like, well, it's none of your business. Stop being nosy. People would try to help me, and it'd be like, well, this does not concern you. This is not your house. This is where I sleep, And I wasn't really looking at, people were just trying to help me. And I wasn't really taking responsibility for it. I tried to blame it, well, this is a mess that my mom kind of started, and yes, I added on to it.
Yeah.
But I feel that now it's helping me understand that it's important for the house to be clean. Well, for health, I've noticed it too now that I've been sick, the dust and everything. I know it's like it could turn into a health concern too. So I feel like I'm trying to be a little more open-minded about it, not so negative about it. I feel better about myself, so I feel like it's helped, and then it's also helped with the relationship with my brother. He sees that I'm doing stuff, so we don't argue about that stuff anymore. Because before he'd be like, you should really try, cleaning this up, and we would end up arguing about it. And now it's kind of like he sees me doing something, and it shows him that I do care for the house. And I feel like it makes him want to be in the house more. Before, he really wouldn't spend time in the house. So I think overall it's really helping how I feel. I feel more comfortable inviting people to my house. Before, awesome. I wouldn't invite people inside. I would just, hang out with my friends in the backyard and drink and add more mess, more beer bottles. And now it's kind of like I can invite them inside if I want to.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, it seems that those negative thoughts that you had of yourself feeling constantly overwhelmed and that you were bad, because you were lazy and dirty, are now transforming to more like positive thoughts. And that you yourself believe you're capable of cleaning your home, and that it's actually necessary to have a clean home just so that you can invite others to your house, and they'll actually want to be in your home.
Yeah.
And also be mindful of, again, your relationship with your brother. You do believe that, having a clean home will kind of restore that relationship with him.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, and I could, have other people around. I feel like it's made me feel more motivated to do anything. Before, I would just get home, lay down, look for something to eat, and my house was always so dark. Look for something to eat, so it was easy for me to fall asleep and ignore all the responsibilities that I had. And I would just go from from home to work, from work to home, and now I feel like it's made me happier.
Yeah.
I want to go out and do more, and then I remind myself, maybe I should keep more light in the house too, so that it reminds me, clean up after yourself a little bit more.
Yeah, well, that's great. Even just hearing you speak and your demeanor, you look a lot, livelier and happier, and I mean that shows a lot to me and to yourself. How far you've come throughout our sessions. So I applaud you for that. That's
Thank
great.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it, without your help.
Yeah.
I mean, it took a lot to even admit, I am dirty. So I want to thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So how likely do you think you will use this model in the future, this ABC model, identifying your triggers, identifying, how you think and what you believe of that trigger, and then, the consequences of that, and then kind of reshaping that and restructuring that along the way so that you'll have a positive outcome?
I think that I'm trying to be really honest and say that because I've been so used to a certain way, like my mom has been away for almost 3 years. She's been gone for 2 or 3 years. So there was a lot of time there I wasn't doing a lot, and even when she was around, I mean, we were cleaner, but we've always had things around. So I kind of feel like I'm going to struggle with it, of course. Like, I'm probably going to have days, where I'm not going to be as productive as other days, but I definitely feel like I will, when I realize that it's getting out of hand or something like that, if I ever see it coming up, I feel like I will know what to run to.
Yes.
Like, if you just do, like, remind myself, take it one step at a time.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'm hoping that it won't end up like how it did just because I made, progress. And I feel like I will try to remind myself, like, if it does get to that point, I at least know where to start. I will go back to, if you do this, it's going to make me feel better. Overall, make me feel better, think better, and have better consequences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's exactly how that model works. So I'm glad that you understand it and understand how to use it. Now and in the future. So that's great. So I, just like to let you know or inform you that this is our last session. This is the last time we'll be meeting. However, if you have any questions or concerns or another issue, problem were to arise, you can always meet with me or anybody else from our staff to talk about your concerns or issues.
Yeah, and I do feel pretty comfortable in doing that, I feel like I've made a lot of progress, at least just sharing it, because, I mean, I was losing a lot of friends, and I really wasn't talking about this, and I wouldn't talk to my brother, so coming here at least made me open up and talk about it a little bit more, and I think that it's been helpful, but I am glad, that I can always come back and reach out to you or to someone else. At least, it helps to have, like an extra ear, or at least hear yourself.
Yeah, that's great. And, like you've mentioned before, it's not about, magically cleaning your home and for it to be spotless. It's something that takes time, and it's, progress that you make eventually. And, of course, not every single day you're going to be cleaning or picking up something. Of course, you're going to have to give yourself a break. But so far, it seems like, you eventually want to get to, your destination, which is having a clean home and, just being an overall happy person about it, because it did seem like having a dirty home and all the hoarding, in your house was kind of making you feel, sad and just lazy and just all these feelings that, you really didn't want to feel. Yeah. So
I definitely feel prepared for it and ready, for whatever is yet to come.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. All right, Amanda. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure working with you all these, 6 sessions. So if you, again, have any questions, be more than free to come to me.
Okay, thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome. Bye.